is Mallie Robinett. I graduated Crestline Elementary in 2016 and I graduated from Mountain Brook High School this past spring. And I am currently at the United States Coast Guard Academy studying to become an officer in the United States Coast Guard. And I really want to come here and share a little bit about my experiences to y'all because there are so many cool opportunities in the military and the Coast Guard, and especially since you're doing the Veterans Day program now, I think that it's fantastic to have all of y'all listen to my experiences. So when I was at Crestline, I remember the Veterans Day program, and I remember just how cool it was, and just to have all of the community come to see this presentation that we do for the veterans in the community. I remember I was in a little video in my white polo shirt, and I talked about how cool the veterans were and how cool the military was. And I also remember I was in part of the song where they say calling all the army. I was one of those people, and it was just such a huge honor to be a part of that. I always knew that I wanted to serve in the military. I thought that was something really cool that I felt like it was something really cool that people did, but I never knew that it was something that was possible for me to do until my sophomore year of high school, when I was reached out to by the volleyball coach at the Coast Guard Academy, and I just learned everything about the academy and everything about Coast Guard that I thought was really cool. And then 3 years later, I went into boot camp this past summer, and now I'm here. And then what motivated me to take this path is definitely my family just always told me that it was possible for me. And my teachers at school at Mountain Brook, really the entire community, always told me that it was something that I needed to do, that it was just an incredible opportunity, and that it was something that I didn't need to pass up. And I'm so grateful for every single one of those people because I'm here now. I love it here. This is Ellie Yielding, and she lives with me on my hall, and her and I have had pretty different experiences with coming to the Coast Guard, but we've become really good friends while we've been here.
I'm Mallie Yielding. I'm from San Antonio, Texas. I grew up in a military environment. My dad is active duty in the Army. So for me, I decided to join the military because it's just what I've always known. It's the environment that I grew up in, and it was the environment that I was the most comfortable in.
So our original goals. So if you go back to when I was in 5th grade, I knew that I always wanted to do something special with my life, but I never knew that being in the Coast Guard was going to be that final step for me. But really for me, it was just trusting the process, knowing the path. I really probably saw myself I wanted to be a lawyer for a really long time.
Yeah, one of my biggest life goals is also to go to law school, and I think that the Coast Guard, no matter what you want to do with your life, the Coast Guard has an opportunity to do that. If you want to be a pilot, you can go aviation. If you want to go to law school, you can go to law school and you can become a lawyer. If you want to become a doctor, there's opportunities in the Coast Guard for that as well. So I think the Coast Guard does a really great job of facilitating whatever your desires are that you want to be when you grow up. The Coast Guard has a lot of opportunities for you.
All right, so what do you do on a typical day?
So a typical day, we normally wake up pretty early,
Yes.
And we just head straight to classes. We're in classes from about 8 until 3 in the afternoon, and then we have our sports period. So I go off to sailing practice, Mallie goes off to volleyball, and then at night it's our relax time. We'll do some homework, we'll go to the gym. We love watching movies together.
Yes.
So that's what a typical day looks like for us.
Yeah, and then during boot camp, our days were a little bit different. We'd wake up at 5:30, run around, go to formation for breakfast, and then just have different trainings throughout the day and
get screamed at a lot too.
Yes, a lot of screaming,
a lot of
push-ups.
But it made us strong and it really conditioned us for what life in the Coast Guard is going to look like. So
yes,
it was worth it.
What are your favorite parts about job and service?
I would definitely say that the people I have met have been like my favorite thing. I've made some of my closest friends here, Mallie included, and I think that that's one of the really unique things about the Coast Guard Academy is you're able to meet so many people so quickly and you become really, really close with those people.
Yeah, definitely the people. And then also I love the structure that it gives me. Just having a set time, like I'm gonna go to class now, I'm gonna go work out now, I have to do homework now, and then all of that stuff, like you don't have to pick out an outfit. You get to wear this every day.
Isn't it cute?
Yes. So that's probably my favorite parts. What are some of the challenges that we face?
I think there were definitely a lot more challenges during boot camp because we were waking up early, going to bed late, and getting screamed at throughout the day. But now I think challenges now are just things every college student faces, keeping our grades up, making sure we don't fall behind in our classes or procrastinate.
Yeah, definitely that. Yeah, boot camp, it was kind of just like summer camp, except you were getting yelled at a little bit more and you had to work out all the time. But yeah, for me, it was not being able to talk to my parents. We kind of had to go back to the old days where we had to write letters to communicate. This last little clip, we're just gonna share some stories with y'all. So my favorite story or memory from being here is definitely when we were in boot camp. And we'd wake up in the mornings and we'd have to run. And one day we were running and we'd call a cadence while we ran to keep everyone in step. So it'd just be left, 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 right, and everyone else would repeat it and it'd just go on. And it would get pretty boring. And then one time it switched cadences to another person and he just started singing a cadence. And it was just a lot more enjoyable and it was actually fun. And I remember when we were done running, we thought that we were all going to get yelled at for singing, like too much morale, too much happiness. But they told us, our cadre told us, they said, we've been waiting all summer for y'all to start singing. And so that was probably my favorite memory just because we were so happy to be singing finally.
Mm-hmm. I'd say my favorite memory was towards the end of boot camp. The last 2 days were like the most difficult ones. And so right before boot camp ended, we woke up early and we did like a ton of different drills and stuff. We carried a boat on our heads. We did as many push-ups as we possibly could. And then we ran up this ginormous hill and they call it Killing the Hill. And we got to ring a bell at the end and all of the officers were there and it kind of signified that boot camp was done and we had completed it. I just remember crying and hugging everyone. And the sense of achievement that I had felt at that time was indescribable. It hasn't compared to anything since, and it was just the biggest challenge that I've ever been through in my entire life. And I came out of it, and I came out so much stronger. I came out with some of my best friends who had also made it through it and pushed me. So that was definitely one of my best memories.
I also loved when we went to the Cape Cod Air Station, and we got to talk to a bunch of enlisted people. So we got to talk to a rescue swimmer. So he's basically the guy who jumps out of the helicopter and goes and saves everyone in the water who needs help. And he was just such a cool guy. He showed us all of his he saves the life jackets of the people that he saves and he gets them to sign them and he hangs them up. And he just showed us this huge wall of all of the life jackets that he had of the people that he saved. And that's probably one of my other favorite memories of being here, just because it lets you know that we are a part of something so much bigger than ourselves, that we're making such a huge impact on saving so many people.